global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. The governors are not letting anything on, leaving any stone unturned. In fact, they're literally calling out Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Something has to give, something must do, something must go down, and it must be done very fast. The hunger in the land is getting very real and very tangible. And of course, top politicians, governors are beginning to call on the president to act now. There have been a lot of rumors here and there that during the build-up of the elections, that Sheyi Makinde, one of the G5, may have probably been one of those assigned by top APC politicians to ensure that Wike does not go astray. I don't know how true that is, but then again, Sheyi Makinde has been one governor who have stayed in his lane ever since Wike became the minister of FCT. That gives a lot of question, arising from the fact that they were G5, they were close, but one would have expected him to be even more closer now. But it looks as if Sheyi Makinde is actually, minding his business, and he has decided this time around not to let anyone out of the bag, not to let anyone lose, as the hunger is truly biting. Of course, Soludo, the Anambra State governor, also is calling out the president. It's real. It's no longer propaganda. Propaganda is one thing. Reality is setting in. Of course, just fairly recently, the president has said he has submitted a bill that should be passed into law for minimum wage. Of course, the likes of NLC chairman and the TUC believes that anything short of 250 naira is nothing but an insult and is not acceptable. Of course, Soludo has warned the president to be very careful what he is submitting, because it has to be sustainable. It's one thing to say we are going to pay this, it's another thing for it to be sustainable. Even the president is already giving federal government is giving turtle signal that look, mass sack will emerge if eventually you push on this issue of minimum wage. And the president said this is the much he can give. Sheyi Makinde is speaking, and Soludo is telling the president to be very careful. In fact, he's insisting that the public servant, the politicians, office holders should also have a minimum wage. What do they mean? And to make matters interesting, even the so-called politicians, so-called Green Chamber senators, honorable members, are saying that their salary is just a little short of 600,000 a month. It's not that bogus salary that I mentioned, but hey, my honorable sir, did you mention all the allowances that made those things bogus? You only mentioned basic salary, did not mention all that, that makes the pay package very interesting. But let's find out what Sheyi Makinde is telling the president to do now. Honestly, it's not sparing him at all. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Now, according to Sheyi Makinde, he blasted the decision about a waste of time and resources. What is the decision he's talking about here? Amidst the growing economic challenges facing Nigeria, Governor Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State has decried the federal government's recent reintroduction of Old National Anthem, calling for a shift in priorities towards addressing pressing issues such as hunger and poverty. Of course, he blasted the decision of reverting to the Old National Anthem. He calls it a waste of time and resources, stating that the return of the Old National Anthem shouldn't be our priority when so many Nigerians are suffering. Makinde maintained that the country must prioritize economic development, saying there could not be production without mobilization. Now, according to the governor, the talks about the new national anthem, local government autonomy, and others are not addressing what will broaden the nation's productive base. He said when the fundamental issues are addressed, economic development could be engendered. The governor said, and I quote him word for word, said, "Our country is in a state of crisis and we must act now. Our people are hungry. Our infrastructure is crumbling. Our economy is in shambles. We should be focused on finding solutions to these things or these problems, not wasting time and money on superficial changes like a new anthem." We are at a point in Oyo State and in our state, our nation, Nigeria, where we must prioritize economic development in Oyo and our nation as well. As a country, we have to prioritize production. We have to be productive. There cannot be production without mobilization. Our strongest resource is our people. The training and education of our people is the best empowerment we can give to them. We have to keep on educating our people. Let them use their God-given talents to support what we're doing in Oyo State and in Nigeria as a whole. Makinde called on the federal government to take a shift and decisive action to address the country's myriad challenges, stating that we cannot afford to waste any more time. Loud it on His Excellency, loud that part. Now, our people deserve better, he said. They deserve a government that is focused on their needs, not on distractions and empty gestures. Let us put our resources and our energy where they are most needed, and let us work together to build a better, brighter future for all Nigerians. He stressed. Now, talk about democracy for government for the elite, by the elite, and to the elite. That's the kind of democracy we are seeing in Nigeria. Now, just fairly recently, the honorable members are looking at buying a new jet, a new presidential fleet for the president. They said the old one is 19 years old, and the cost of maintenance is out of the hook is really very high. They're looking at buying a new presidential fleet for the president. Wow! And the minimum wage, we are still going back and forth, and Nigeria can afford to buy a new presidential fleet. Wow! Of course, it wasn't not just how many months ago they bought the senators, the legislative arms, bought them some good cars, bulletproof cars, some lovely looking SUVs. Why not? I shouldn't. Of course, if you thought they say the roads to their constituencies are bad and they need to be able to access them. What about those people who are living in that constituency and the roads are bad? Do you guys don't even? Once in a while you visit your constituency, you're always probably living in Abuja having fun. Look, we are just seeing a democracy that's quite different from the regular ones we are known for, or that is known in the world, for the people by the people. The dividends of democracy, let's tell ourselves the truth and let's not live in fool's paradise. The dividends of this democracy is being enjoyed, felt, and harnessed by the political elite. When you say minimum wage, they say no, minimum wage, no, it's going to cause hyperinflation. But your salaries, your allowances, it can never cause hyperinflation. That we built a 21 billion naira worth of VP lounge can never cause hyperinflation. After all, it's not one time building. Do you know what 21 billion naira is? I'm not talking about million. Oh, like Peter Obi will say, His Excellency will say, he said, what is wrong with the vice president living in 4-bedroom flat? Is it bad? As in, cost of maintenance and the rest. Look, the cost of governance in Nigeria does not even show that we are actually a distressed nation. It looks as if we are actually an affluence, a country living in affluence. We borrow to maintain opulence, we borrow to maintain affluence, and yet the poor masses are crying. And no, to think that we tax people who didn't even enjoy the dividend of democracy, and you expect them. Look, we need to begin to think out of the box. Shey Makinde is shouting now, kwekele arugboje gbese ta ni o san, what is also a he's saying it now, nobody wants to hear. Well, that's we're going to wrap it up. We could go on and on. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Have been
global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.